You know we all have those days. The days when we just want to cry our hearts out and let it all go. A lot of Asian dramas are super cute and sweet enough to rot your teeth. But today's list is about sad dramas that will break your heart for all your angsty needs on the days when you need it. Number 10. Should We Kiss First? Should We Kiss First starts off with the angsty feelings right from the beginning, with a middle-aged man and woman who no longer have any hopes for a passionate romance, but are scared of spending their life alone and of dying alone. Kyung-soo and An Sung-jin lost their 7-year-old daughter 11 years ago. Kyung-soo cheated on Sun-jin after the grief, while Sun-jin fought a case against the company she considered responsible for her daughter's death. Sun-jin ended up losing the case, and Kyung-soo married the woman he cheated with and had another daughter. Still stuck with the grief of her daughter and financial problems, Sun-jin views marriage as simply a way out of her problems. Our male lead Son Moo-han is a wealthy executive whose wife and daughter have left him. The cold view that both have of life and the common experience of the loss of a daughter makes them the perfect fit together, who often end up thinking in the same way. Sun-jin might be a bit sarcastic for some people's taste, but it is understandable because of the great amount of pain she has experienced. Number 9. Koizora. Koizora is a Japanese drama that will leave you sobbing several times. A roller coaster of tragic events taking place after high school student Mika Tahara starts dating the delinquent boy of her school, Hiro. Their relationship starts off well, but everything starts going downhill when Hiro's ex-girlfriend Saki hires a group of thugs to rape Mika. Hiro punishes Saki and the thugs, but the damage has been done. Mika starts getting harassed over the phone when someone writes provocative things about her on the school chalkboards. Mika later becomes pregnant with Hiro's child, but it ends in a miscarriage when Saki pushes her down the stairs. Mika is then told that she can never have children again. After this, Hiro gets diagnosed with cancer, pretends not to love Mika, and Mika even ends up dating another guy. Yikes! Talk about a wild ride. Some viewers may not like how the story takes place during high school, as it's a bit unrealistic for high school students to be hiring thugs and going through so much in the span of 4 years. A trigger warning is due for the rape scene and for suicide. There is also the issue of how codependent the leads are. They don't seem to have any other friends or care about any relationships other than the one between them. This drama is more of a personal preference than a universal favorite, as you could either love or hate the passionate and somewhat unrealistic romance. Number 8. Scent of a Woman. Lee Yeon-jae is single in her mid-30s and does not seem to have lived her life the way she wanted to. To make things worse, she gets accused of theft at her job and gets diagnosed with gallbladder cancer, with only 6 months left to live. Amidst all these troubles, Yeon-jae makes the decision to finally live her life. She resigns from her job and leaves for a vacation to fulfill everything on her bucket list and make her dreams come true. There, she meets Kang Ji-wook, the son of her ex-boss, who helps her with her bucket list. The doomed love between the two, the exciting tasks on the bucket list, the romance, all make this a great drama, and you can genuinely see how much the two love each other. Number 7. Jealousy Incarnate. Pyo Nari has had a crush on Lee Hwa-shin for 3 years. Nari is a weather reporter in a channel where Hwa-shin is a news anchor. He is aware of her crush and always avoids her. However, one day, Nari is forced to fill in for a hair and makeup artist for Hwa-shin's show, where she discovers a strange lump in his breast. He thinks she's only trying to touch him, but she manages to convince him to rethink, as her own mother had died from breast cancer. Meanwhile, Nari starts to date Jungwon, which makes Hwa-shin feel jealous. Hwa-shin gets diagnosed with breast cancer and attends appointments with Nari. They pretend that she's the one who needs the appointments, so that Hwa-shin doesn't risk losing his job because of the cancer. Jealousy Incarnate does a good job of showing gender inequalities. Nari, who is forced to report the weather when she dreams of becoming a news anchor, and who is forced to do hair and makeup despite being a journalist, and Hwashin, who doesn't even take his own illness seriously because of the stereotype that only women have breast cancer and not men. The drama does have its lighter moments, but it's super angsty, what with Hwashin's eventual regret over his cruel behavior to Nari, and his jealousy when he falls in love with her. Not to mention the fact that he has to deal with infertility due to his breast cancer treatments. Number 6. Uncontrollably Fond. Viewers beware. The ending to this one will break your heart. Shin Junyoung and No-eul were childhood sweethearts who were separated after a series of events. Years later, Junyoung is a famous pop star, while No-eul is a documentary maker who gets hired to make a documentary about his life. Junyoung has been diagnosed with a terminal illness and vows to spend the last days of his life winning back No-eul and trying to make the ultimate act of love towards her by exposing the culprits behind her father's death. Their complicated past and the mix of feelings between them makes their chemistry pop off the screen. The eventual sad ending is not something that's hidden, and it looms over the viewer even during the happier scenes. Number 5. Doom at Your Service. Tak Dong-young lost her parents at an early age. With no family near her and with no romantic relationship, she is very alone. Things get worse when she is diagnosed with a brain tumor, leaving her with less than 100 days to live. She gets drunk and wishes for the world to come to Doom, upon which Doom himself shows up to grant her wish. Of course, when sober, Dong-young does not wish for Doom anymore. Doom, otherwise known as Myeolmang, gives her a second option, which would lead in either her death or the death of the person she loves the most. As a solution, Dong-young decides that she should try to fall in love with Doom himself. There are several humorous moments, and the drama can get lighthearted in moments, making you forget the impending doom and focus on the blazing romance instead. However, especially in later episodes, the angst gets worse, with Dong-young having to be hospitalized, the impending threat of either her death or Myeolmang's, and even a period when the two have their memories wiped of each other. The chemistry and romance between the two makes this drama unforgettable, as does their determination to not lose each other. Number 4. The Oath of Love. The Oath of Love is a Chinese drama about struggles with disease and career. Lin Zijiao wants to make a career playing the cello, but her plans reach an abrupt halt when her father is diagnosed with cancer. Gu Wei becomes her father's doctor after she manages to convince him, although he no longer has any confidence in his surgeries. As she spends time caring for her father in the hospital, she also ends up spending more time with Gu Wei. The ending for this one is bittersweet, with the main couple being able to get married and live together, but a major character death taking place. The development of the two characters as they change each other's perspective on life is amazing. Zijiao teaches Gu Wei to view life more lightheartedly, while Gu Wei helps her to recognize what matters most in her life and to go after that. Number 3. I'm Not a Robot. Kim Mingyu is a wealthy chairman who is allergic to human touch. This leads to him being very lonely, with the robots and appliances in his household being his best friends. Jia's ex-boyfriend, Big-gun, hires her to pretend to be a robot, Aji 3, which was modeled after her without her knowledge. Doing so would give Big-gun more time to fix the actual robot, while Chairman Mingyu's reception of the robot would not be delayed. Mingyu is someone who looks completely fine on the surface, but is actually very alone. His disappointment reached astronomical levels when he receives the actual Aji 3 after having fallen for Jia, and starts to believe that he was stupid for thinking he could find love, as he'd fallen for a robot and expected a human-like love. The angst further rises when he sees Jia and realizes that he has been deceived by her. Number 2. Boku no Itajigan. Boku no Itajigan is a Japanese drama, the title of which translates to The Hours of My Life. Sawada Takuto is a fourth-year university student from a wealthy family. He'd refused to become a doctor, going against his family's wishes, and is now having trouble finding a job. Meanwhile, his younger brother Rikuto has all his parents' attention, as they now hope for him to become a doctor instead. One day, Takuto is diagnosed with an incurable progressive neurodegenerative disease called amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, leaving him with very little time to live. With all of this going on, Takuto decides to live his life to the fullest. His girlfriend, Megumi, is one of the best characters in the show. Takuto decides to hide his illness from her, leading to a lot of heartbreak. However, she is someone who loves him with all her heart and stays with him despite it all, supporting him till the end. With family problems, career problems, relationship problems, and health problems, this drama really hits every spot, while still maintaining the love that all the characters have for each other. Number 1. 1 Litre no Namida. 1 Litre no Namida is Japanese for 1 liter of tears. Ikuchi Aya's family works at a tofu shop. She is 15 years old and about to enter high school. Problems occur when she starts to walk strangely and fall down often. Her mother takes her to the doctor, where she gets diagnosed with a rare disease where the cerebellum of the brain gradually deteriorates to the point where the victim cannot walk, speak, eat, or write. Spinocerebellar degeneration does not have any effect on the mind, however, leaving the victim with a consciousness of everything around her, but without any means to express herself. The drama is based upon the real-life struggles of a girl named Aya, who wrote in her diary for as long as she could, until she died at 25. Aya in the drama is also an inspiration for those around her, like Asu-kun, who decides to pursue medicine due to her inspiration. The drama does not immediately go into the physical pains of the illness, and instead spends quite some time focusing on the psychological impact and the way people with disabilities seem to try and accommodate other people around them. This one will literally leave you with a liter of tears as you become attached to Aya and her struggles. That was all for the top 10 tearjerkers of Asian drama. If there is any drama you'd want to add to this list, comment down below. I hope these dramas make those blue days easier to go through for you. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, have fun binging.